goodness. Hello everyone and welcome. This will be my first thrift flip on my channel. Some of these items aren't exactly thrifted. One is an item I got from TJ Maxx and I just never wear it because I hate it. But most of these things are something I've got secondhand and I'd like to change just a little bit so I can integrate them better into my everyday wardrobe. So the first item that I'm going to be transforming is this shirt here. It is a long sleeve. It's got a PlayStation logo on it. It's already been cropped, but I just never wear it because it's a crop top, but it's also long sleeve. I really like the graphic, and this transformation is good for t-shirts that you like how it's been printed, but you aren't exactly happy with the fit. So we're gonna take our t-shirt, try to lay it as flat as you can. Oh my goodness. What is flat? There. So I'm gonna cut from the neckline about an inch away from like the top of the shoulder where it folds. And I'm gonna go from that point all the way to right under the armpit. And I'm just gonna cut straight. The back, it won't matter too much. Straight from the armpit to the collar. Always best to use some fabric shears so you have a cleaner line as well as an easier time cutting through the fabric. Do the same on the other side. All right, so I'll set the sleeves aside. And now we've got what looks kind of like a triangle shape, and we're going to flip it over to the back and fold down the back piece until it is level with the bottom of your cut, so right at the armpit. And we're gonna cut along this fold so we can get rid of the weird top of the back piece. Set that aside. And now our final step, since this top has already been cropped, is just to cut the straps to tie it in the back. Oh my gosh, this is not the final step. There's one more final step. So all we're gonna do now is cut from about here in a diagonal along the back to the other side. I'll show that better when I'm cutting. And this works great if you have a smaller top that you're transforming. It allows the ties to be longer than if you were just to cut down the middle of the back. All right, and now we've got two ties here that taper down. If they're too long, you can cut them shorter. All right. And now we're going to make the top tie. So the collars on t-shirts are usually folded over, and because we've cut both ends, I'm gonna make this one a little straighter. Because we've made it open-ended, I can cut a strap from one of my long sleeves. So I can cut a strap from one of these sleeves. If you have a shirt that you're cropping, use the hemline. This doesn't need to be perfect, it's just gonna be a little string for us to tie around our neck. You can also use a ribbon if you prefer that. Just gotta get this straightened out a little bit. And I'm cutting on the fold. We've got the fabric, give it a good stretch to round out the edges and lengthen it slightly. And now, either taking a crochet hook or a safety pin attached to the end, I'm going to go through the collar here. Just feed it onto my hook. Take the end of that, wrap it around, and feed it through. And there we go. Turn this around so you can see that. There is our first halter top. They look much better on than they do just sitting on a table. Very cute. I'm gonna do a second one here and show you how that turns out. All right, using this t-shirt I purchased in Mexico years ago. Then I tie-dyed it, wore it once for a video because I thought it was cute, and now we're gonna make it much more interesting. All right, so again, starting with cutting from the armpit to the collar. Do the same on the other side. All right. Then flip it over to the back side. Fold the back down to about the armpit. Cut straight across. Then I'm going to crop. It's kind of stained a little here. You can kind of see the staining here. I'm going to crop right above where it says Puerto Vallarta. And I can actually use this tie-dyed fabric. The back side is pretty clean. I might make a few scrunchies out of it. It's a very nice, vibrant tie-dye. All right, flip it back over to the back side. And cut our straps for the tie back. Back to the front, and the collar, I'm going to round it out a little bit. And taking the hem of that t-shirt, just cut along the hem. All right, give it a good stretch. Take your crochet hook and feed it through the collar. Oh, this one's a bit thick. There we go. All right. After smoothing out any imperfections, we've got a second halter. All right. Moving on to some bottoms, some corduroy pants that I picked up from a thrift store a while back. So these corduroy pants fit great everywhere except the waist. So all I'm going to do is add elastic to the waistband. And this is a very simple way to resize pants. And they are fully adjustable, and this can be undone by just pulling the elastic out of the waistband. So I'm just using a regular waistband elastic as well as some buttons. You can reuse buttons that come in the button packs on new clothing or from old clothing that you no longer wear that has buttons on. So I'm just going on the inside of the waistband, about the same side as this first belt loop. On either side, I'm going to cut a slit in only the inside layer of the waistband. Just pull each layer apart from each other so you're not cutting on the outside. Just gonna cut a small slit wide enough for you to start to feed your elastic through. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. I'm struggling. Okay. Same thing on the other side, make sure this is wide enough. So now I'm going to sew on the buttons before feeding the elastic through. The color of the thread isn't too important. It's going to be on the inside of the pants anyways. The worst part. Got it. So I'm going to sew the buttons right next to that slit. The slit is hard to see. Here's the slit, there's my button. So my grandma used to do this for me when I was a child because my family's genetics are just thin. So my sister and I would have to have our pants with an elastic waist or they wouldn't be long enough for us. That was fun. And I still do it now. Keep repeating until your button is fully secured. Probably want to go across each hole maybe 5 times a piece. Alright, so I think that'll be pretty good. Now I'm going to go through the bottom a couple times. And snip. Now I'm going to do the same next to our other slit. The slit right here. Don't know if you can see that. It's a dark fabric, but I promise you it is there. Alright, now that we are done with our buttons here, I'm going to move on to the elastic again. So we're going to cut a slit in one end of the elastic Doesn't have to be too big. And we're going to put the button through that one end. This way it's anchored down. And we're going to take our safety pin after cutting another slit on the other side. Through the slit in the elastic and close it up. And we're going to take this safety pin and feed it all the way through our bottoms. Feed it through the waistband here. Alright, finally, we've made it through. I'm gonna try to, goodness. There we go. Try to evenly distribute your waistband for the elastic. And we're going to take our safety pin off. Place this side of the elastic onto our button. And there we have it. Our waistband is complete. And you can add more slits to your elastic to make it more adjustable. If for any reason you don't want the elastic any longer, you can just remove it from the buttons, pull the elastic out, and cut the buttons off. And you can see the back there. And I will model these in just a moment. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you do decide to follow one of these examples, please let me know. Tag me in either Facebook or Instagram. I will leave that information down below. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, please leave them in the comment section. Subscribe if you do like my content and wish to see more. Thank you so much and goodbye.